All right. Okay. I I gotta tell you something. This is something very important. I'm trying to think of like the best way I can depict what it is I encountered yesterday. Weird. For some reason, my default button for... Ooh. Let's see if I can do a window capture. That's funny. I'm gonna pull this up front. Why is it like this? What? This is what happens when I try to capture paint, everybody. Why is it like this? I've never seen this happen before. It's like fucking Windows XP again. Okay, we're gonna try doing the classic way. Which is deleting this, adding something else, display capture. Ooh. Inception. Okay. Then we move this down here. Okay. Alright, this will just have to do... I can't resize my shit, because otherwise I'm gonna screw up things. So, forgive me here. Whoop. I got a little bit of a story time before I begin. I have a short airtime, or a short... Okay. Okay. So, I gotta tell you what happened to me this morning. For context, I'm also... Before I begin, yes, I am in the Paper Mario category. I will begin for Mario. That's why there's the Wii music in the background. So, let me tell you how I start this morning, okay? I wake up. It's 6 a.m. This is gonna be weird. I don't usually typically do this. Ugh. Okay, so 6 a.m. I get out of my bed, right? And get out of bed. I go to shower. In the little we'll call this the shower. Right? Get out of bed, I shower. And little time passes. Let's call it 6:27 a.m. Mind you, I have no context for this. As far as me staying in tune with anything outside of my current bubble, all I'm really focused on is getting ready and going to work. This is like any typical morning. This is around the time I get out, and I'm going to get changed. So here I am in my proverbial closet. So we'll just say I'm in closet. Figuratively, not literally. To get some nice clothes here. And 6:27, all of a sudden, it's not my phone, because my phone is typically on mute. I usually only put it on vibrate until, unless I'm expecting a call or a text from somebody. So, at about 6:27 a.m., I'm getting changed in my closet, and it's not my phone, but my significant other's phone that goes off. And it just starts going, but it's not like the typical alarm, right? It's like we have interrupted your scheduled programming to provide you with like an announcement or notice, something not good, right? And I'm like piqued by this, and anything that isn't, typically our alarms don't get us up, but my significant other gets up. She's like, "Whoa, what is this? What's going on?" And she looks at her phone, and apparently there is like a tornado warning. Now for the Midwest, this is not unusual. So I'm like, interesting that we're getting a notice this early. Right. So 6:27 that happens. And I don't really think much of it. And I'm like, whatever. I resume getting changed. 6:30. 6:30 hits the dot. 6:30, right? And then something piques my curiosity. We get it starts going crazy, right? I start to hear sirens at this time in the morning. I'm thinking, what? Because I mean, typically, once per every calendar, right? You got like, this will happen sometimes where like the first Wednesday of the month, you'll get like a little, oh, we're gonna test our little siren thing, and it's gonna blare, and it's gonna be at 10 a.m. I've never, ever, ever heard an alarm or a siren at 6:30 in the morning. So that piques my curiosity even more, right? I keep on doing the same thing. So I'm like weirdly nervous. My trip to work is, I take a highway, I take a little bit of an L, and then I get off the interstate, and then I go to like a bus. So this whole process here, from here to here, and then from there to all the way to the bus is about like roughly 15 minutes. Ooh. 15 minutes, and then another roughly 10 minutes for like the bus. Got this bus thing here that takes me the rest of the way, because I don't park directly on my workplace campus. I park in like a lot. So if this were like my work building, and check out all these nice little parking lots, and like you'd think that I'd be able to park next to my workplace in these spots right here. Yeah, but instead of this being my building and being able to park here or here, no, I park all the way in the fucking boondocks and the next state over. So that's why it takes, roughly about 10 minutes to transport me from bus to my stop. They have to make, I think, probably about 5 to 6 stops before they reach my destination, or the stop that I get off, and a relatively decent amount of people will take this bus as well. I'm not the only one, so we got, a lot of entities on here. Drawing stick people is hard, especially on mouse, so catch me a break a little bit here. So a lot of people, get off, a lot of people get on. This process takes some time, so that's probably why it takes longer. I mean, if we omitted these steps, it would probably take like closer to 5 minutes. And then the walk itself, if I were to walk physically, it would take me about 18 minutes from where I park to get to my workplace. This is very important, okay? So 6:30 rolls by, I'm hearing these alarms, getting really confused. I'm not sure why this is doing that. Oh, this makes sense. Because primary, duh. I'm doing all this all wrong. I should have this as that is that. I fixed my issue. Okay. So 6:30, I'm hearing sirens. I'm thinking, we got phone notification, and not only after, like, and my significant, my SO's phone, right, goes off first. And then mine goes off after that. And it's doing the, I mean, it didn't even like do the thing that it does. It just vibrated, because like I said, I usually keep it on silent. And they're also saying tornado. Um, so where am I at? I'm getting kind of confused. You know, I'm wrapping up my get it together phase, and about like 6, let's say 6:39 or 6:40 is around the time I leave. I go to work. Leave my humble abode. Go to work. So, as I'm on my lovely little trip and hitting that 90-degree intersection where I merge onto the other highway that goes this way, I'm noticing something funky, and that's that on this side of the highway, everything looks like cloudy and fucked up. And on the other side, it's like bright clouds, so it's still like the sky is covered, but it's a difference between white and black, and like it's like nighttime part 2 is coming. So it's still like, usually when I get out of the house, it's like already bright from where I'm at. But cloudy, you got some ominous clouds on this side of the highway, and it looks like it's rolling in from this direction, which would be, you know, eastbound from how I'm drawing it. So I turn on and I go this way. I'm driving, and, you know, I'm already noticing that, like, you know, typically we got like a 3-lane road. I kind of hate this, where when I first get on the fucking road, they like, imagine, right? I need to clear my spot. Okay. I'm doing this the slow way. Let's open a new one. Whoop. Paint. Bucket. So, I'm driving on this highway. This side looks ominous. This side is still fine. As I merge on to my 3-way, usually in my morning, this highway is very packed, and merging on is really dangerous right now, because like for construction reasons, they basically like blocked this off. So you either merge, you cannot bail. Like, if somebody is in this lane and you're just like backed up and you're in a car, you're trying to get on, it's either these people let you over or you smash into the concrete wall. So I'm noticing already, by default, that the highway over here is sparse. And not as many people typically going to work on a Friday. I know that, but this was a little bit different, because I know what the typical flow of traffic is. It's not that. So we got ominous weather. It's looking bad. We got some sirens going off in the background. It's still 6 in the morning. I'm wondering what the heck is going on. But, and the reason my logic here, right? Because I also, before I left to go to work, I checked my schedule. There's no changes. I checked my email and nothing from my supervisor or anything. And culture, and from where I'm at currently, it's either you get to work or you fuck you, basically. is the idea. It doesn't matter if hell is frozen over. And this is not like flack that I'm throwing at my employer. My employer does a lot of good things. This is just something that is a trend for the entire workspace of where I'm currently at. So maybe they are a propagator of this trend, but that's not their fault. This is just a cultural thing. So you either get to work unless we state that work is closed, right? So I hear no word. I'm assuming. I mean, other than, there are also like some emails that I'm getting from like, safety and security that are like, tornado warning. Seek shelter, seek safety. But this is not like tied to the department that I work at. This is just like a public email sent to all staff. You'd think, oh, well, Seth, if this is something that is issued to all staff, then you should adhere to it. But it's like, similarly, I get like bus notifications like, oh, your bus went out of service, blah, 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 blah. That is like the same method of communication that this would be. So, to my knowledge, work is still happening, right? So here I am, I get to here, and I'm noticing too, like, sirens are coming from multiple directions. I hear one here, I'm like passing by one over here, so it's like it sounds louder here, and then it tapers off, and then it gets louder on this side of the road. I'm like looking around, things just look rough, but it's not like pouring or pelting or anything, like it's, it's not raining at all. So I merge onto Highway 2, and I'm driving, and as soon as I get off my exit, like, sirens are getting even, like, more loud. We got sirens, and I'm getting a little wigged out at this point. So I get off, and as I'm driving down my little road down to my parking arrangement. Let's see here. Come on. Select all. Delete. Why don't we do that? So I drive into my lot. I cross the bridge, and I go to park. And I also noticed, red flag number 3, and that's that this parking lot is sparse. Other than, like, there's some vehicles that get left overnight, like those are like people who started work at like midnight or whatever. So those I'm like typically used to seeing, but it's just those. None of my usual suspects that arrive here to wait for a bus, because the bus will come down this road and pick us up here. None of the people are there that are typically there at that time. So I'm thinking, huh. Also, mind you, half of the way to about here, when I changed to Highway 2, is when my significant other is calling me and is freaking out because she says that, back from home over here, things are looking bad. It looks like it's like dark out. So she says she's putting, the cats away. She's putting the cats in the bathroom. She's putting the cats in the toilet. That's my only depiction of what a bathroom is. So basically holding up in the bathroom. I mean, we live on a second story as well, so that's also a scary prospect. There's no like basement for us to go down. I don't even think that like the first floor people have a basement. There's no basement whatsoever. So she's freaking me out. I mean, I'm on a call. I know that this is sort of dangerous while driving, But I have her on speaker, and I'm just trying to, like mitigate the situation. She seems stressed out, and like tornado, weather of any kind wigs her out, and it's totally justified, and especially at this moment. So when I get to this lot is when the sirens stop happening, and it's quiet for a little bit. It's like the calm before shit hits the fan. And I'm gonna change our point of view here, so you can see. Select all and delete. We got, so I'm switching into like first person view here. We got the lot here. We got like the street, and this is heading like deeper into town where my workplace would be. So there's some buildings here and all that, and the buildings get more dense over here and whatnot. I'm seeing the sky, and there's almost like behind me is like light out still. There's like a separation here where basically all of the sky clouds are like dark when I'm looking up, and then this section is green. I don't know about you, when you see a green sky or a yellow, that usually means business. You want to get the fuck out of there. So I'm seeing these cars that are driving down the road. They're going in town, and I'm like, I might as well start walking, and hopefully I'll beat this. I take 2 steps towards the route that would take me, because after this point I've looked in my like little bus app. It says that the bus route is closed. So I'm like, well, fuck, if I'm to get to work, I guess I might have to walk. And still, again, no email updates from anybody saying anything, not even any of my coworkers saying, oh, I'll be a little bit late, things are happening, right? I look up into the green, I'm taking a few steps, I get about 10 steps out, and then I'm hit with a cold front of wind, and it like, it's like I stepped into like one of those like decompression chambers where like the air pressurization is different. And so I'm like hit with this cold front, and like my hair's just like and I'm like, it all of a sudden all of the pieces click. I'm like, oh, we're serious. I'm looking at my map. They've like ironed out this like section of like land. They're saying tornado warning. There's been a touchdown, which usually means get down to cover. This is like not even like through my workplace. This is through just like me looking up the county that I live in and trying to figure out like what the deal is. And also, GPS indicates I'm here. I'm in the thick of it. And this is the indicated zone of like influence. As far as live feeds, like both me and my significant other could not figure out a way to like get a live feed of what was happening, and even like the radar wasn't working from our end, so we couldn't see live updates of anything. I don't even know where the hell this thing is touched down. Could it be here? I don't know. Could it be here? I don't know. But for all I know, I'm witnessing weather that looks to be tornado shit. I'm hit with the cold front. I'm like, holy shit, I gotta move. So I turn around. I turn around. Whoop. Turn around. So this is, whoop. This is like 180 degree view. So I turn around. This is my car. I'm thinking, if a tornado hits, I know they say usually get into like the safety of your car, but if it's in like a flat lot and Mr. Tornado comes, Mr. Tornado is not gonna care about my car. It's gonna pick it up and throw it a million miles, and I'm probably not gonna survive that. So I look to this building. This is the building that is associated with the name of the parking lot. I have a pass in the parking lot that costs me $50 and says it is named after the name of the building, right? You would think if I have something that matches up with the name of the building and I park outside, same named building, that I would have access to this. So I walk over here and like the heavens open up. Basically, shit hits the fan. After that cold front, it's already pouring. It went from 0 rain to it being cold, and it's pouring. I can't see shit. My glasses are already pelted with like water. Brushes being like whipped around like crazy. The back of my like the front half of me is like not wet yet, but the back half of me where the shit is coming from is now like soaked. Even the back of my legs, you would think like standing upright, like the back of your legs is not typically where you get wet if it's raining, but that's just how the wind was going. It was picking up the rain, it was throwing it at me. It felt unpleasant. I go to the name of this building. I'm trying to get in. It has these like little badge readers. I take my ID card. And I put it up to badge. And it says no. Nope, sorry. You can't use this. I try the door. I try the door, thinking maybe in some miracle that this is passively unlocked. No, it is not. I'm in a mainly flat area. The only thing that I have basically blocking me from imminent doom is the fact that the slot here is I don't know, like essentially the shape of the building was like this. There are a couple of columns here, and then there's the door. And then the rest is like flat parking lot space, and then a river down here. Here I am standing and watching. And I mean, I'm still on the call. Significant other relays to me that like, I mean, post this instance that, you know, it was really hard for her to even hear me because the phone speaker, I had her on speakerphone, and all she could hear was followed by my voice, which already doesn't, you know, project a whole lot. And I'm watching as like, you know, and I mean they're indicating like, you know, 70-mile-per-hour winds. If you're lucky and you miss the tornado, you still have 70-mile-per-hour winds to be worried about. So I'm watching as wind is carrying the rain basically sideways. Rain is not going, you know, up or down. It is raining sideways. All of the trees, instead of standing like this, are like going like this as they're being like, And sometimes like it's getting really loud to the point where like there's not a whole lot I can focus on other than the sound of this experience. And not only that, I'm trapped outside of this building. I don't know where to go. Basically, the only building I would have access to would involve me like going farther out into the direction of the storm. So I just wait. And I'm like, well, I think this is God's plan for me. And this is around 7 in the morning. This is the time that I'm supposed to clock in. And here I am standing outside of a building where nobody else is. Other than a few trucks that I see pass that are like going into the bullshit out there. I'm seeing nobody out and about. I'm like a lone sad little duck here. Can't get in. Probably shouldn't go out. So I stay put. Even though realistically I also know that this is not an ideal scenario because this whole building, did I mention it's made out of glass? And they tell you the first thing is to get to building safety, move to the lowest floor of wherever. And they're also saying avoid like windows. Do not go towards windows. This is my best bet. Cause this structure here has like kind of like a walled segment. It's kind of like a there's like a 90-degree split. I'm in the corner. So like from top down view, it kind of looks like this. And then the two pillars. And so this alone is like the airflow is like this. I'm standing here. So for the most part, but I mean, if it like the air force were going like this, I'd be totally compromised. If it started like picking up, cars, throwing them at the building, I would be compromised. If Mr. Tornado came directly at me and pulled the roof off or collapsed the roof, I would be compromised. I don't think that this the integrity of this building alone would be enough to withstand the storms that I've been seeing recently. So I don't know. What's the moral of the story? I guess the idea is trust your gut instinct. Work is not worth risking your life. And you can hash out details later. Eventually, they said that things were to pass over at things were to pass over at 8, or I guess 7:45. So at around 7:45, bus schedule resumed. 8:15, I make it to work. I am completely soaked. For the rest of the day, I work a 10-hour shift. And I'm basically drying my clothes because I have a sweater on. I still have yet to switch out to like summer attire. So I got my sweatshirt. I got my sweater. I also got a shirt under my sweater. I'm soaked. My shoes were the only thing that didn't dry today. And I'm thinking to myself, that's probably, even so, this is the best outcome. Man, if Mr. Tornado dropped in, I don't know what I would have done. I still worked the whole day. Yeah. Also, let me show you. This is relatively close to me. I like how it says the most incredible tornado video ever captured. I know that this is not my footage. This is not like typically my reaction footage. So read Timmer. Check out this man if you want to know exactly. Look at this though. This was from 2 days ago. This wiped out a town that's about an hour and a half away from me. And it, like 99% of the town is pretty much, or 90, I'll say about 90% of the town is gone. Look at the way that this is moving. Have you ever seen anything like it? There's like vortexes that are rotating around the vortex of the tornado. There are like individual vortexes in that. What the fuck? Nobody's ever seen tornadoes that look like this. Like, people who are actually good at, like I'm no radiologist, right? Or that's not the right term. I'm no weatherman. Oh, this is where it basically takes this windmill and folds it in half. There's footage after where like the windmills are burning. But this doohickey, it's so bizarre. And also the diameter, because the video doesn't do it justice. This thing in diameter is about 1.5 miles. And people who know what they're saying say that there were about like 11 vortexes within this thing. Some people are saying that the damages that were witnessed in this Greenfields disaster were probably from like an EF5 rating tornado. That is, it's just, I don't know, man. And I was witnessing similar weather today, and I was basically brought to ground zero. And I'm lucky I survived. I mean, after, like I probably blew this out of proportion, right? I don't think there was a tornado that, like, hit where I was at specifically. But I think about 30 minutes away from where I was at, there were a few. So, watch gang. So, I mean, this whole scenario from two days ago is ripe in my mind. I think global warming is fucking up our bullshit. Man. This is wacky for even the Midwest. So that's where I'm at. Story time over. Now on to Paper Mario for a little bit. I didn't expect to talk for this long. It's interesting that it wasn't as bad in Illinois, because I think what happened is it basically hopped, skipped, and jumped into, like, the Geneseo area. It's weird. It, like, we didn't even get the worst of it. If you, like, look at, like a heat map of how deep in shit we were, we got a front, and then it basically, like, hop-skipped. Like, every time that we have some sort of scenario, tornado-wise, usually we're lucky that it even misses us. So there's a likelihood that the longer I stay in Iowa, that I might actually literally be affected by my living situation being in Tornado Alley. I remember shit being bad last year, around the time that I was playing Tears of the Kingdom. There was like one bad storm that basically there's a bad storm that I'm trying to think. It was basically like a windstorm. They were worried about like people's windows just being blown out by how rough the wind was. I'm just gonna buy a bunch of health items. This hurts. Yeah, last year, yeah, windstorm. The thing is, with that windstorm particularly, there was a point where it basically, like, one of our neighboring, like, cities, it basically, like, it's so bizarre too. The way that like tornadoes interact with the surrounding area. We went and took like a drive through like the neighborhood that was mostly affected. I think there was a tornado, but the way that it kind of like hop, skipped, and jumped. Like it was basically like rolling the dice and seeing which house was like affected. And sometimes houses like even adjacent or next to would be fine. So it was like tornadoes like walking down the street and it's like, fuck your house. And then it would walk another block and it'd be like, hey, look, your porch. I'm gonna take the stairs and I'm going to put them upside down. There are some houses where I would like look at the top and I'd be able to see through the top into their garage, like as an attached unit, like inside their garage. What the fuck? What the fuck is going on, man? I'm scared. I'm terrified. Ah. I should probably pay attention to the game now. Oh my god. Also, upon sleeping on this, I have a better way of dealing with these guys. I mean, yeah, for sure. I know that the coasts are like... I mean, if you want, like, a cultural place to visit before it's literally gone, visit New Orleans. It's gonna be gone within the next 10 years, or 5. Not even. And that place is already a shadow of what it used to be, cultural-wise, due to, like, gentrification and basically, like, natural disaster, and having most of the buildings just be replaced by like tourist trap bullshit. I mean, it's still like authentic. One of the more fascinating places I've ever been, but I don't think that that place is long. And I might be proven wrong, but I mean, the way that it was basically relayed to me, it's like just hoping to sweet Jesus that like a sandbank is able to keep out the ocean from something that is mainly under sea level. Wait, the eyes can move? Uh-huh. Oof. That was like a lag spike there. The other disturbing knowledge is like the amount of time that it takes for like our pollution level to like I mean it takes time for like our repercussions to actually like matter, but the thing is like we're dealing from repercussions from like a couple decades ago. So as far as like our current, you know, emissions and stuff, I feel like we've already like raised our dependencies. Like it feels to be exponentially more than we used to rely on previously. Ah. These suck. Beautiful. I just wasted that shroom shake. Ow. What? You're here? Okay, interesting. No, I hate that. Also, they should take damage before I knock them off the thing. It should kill them. I've seen a silver one. Damn, Bowser does such a shit ton of damage. Off, on, off, on. Hey, man. Game really likes giving me lightning. I'm glad that the game and I both acknowledged that that was kind of bullshit right there. Really. I also shouldn't have flipped. Ow. Ow. Gimme. I knew that that was going to be a puzzle. Whoop, 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 whoop. Horrible day. Oh, Chunks. Slap me down with the slab of mutton I never would have thought you made. Good you. Tell you this, that you shouldn't have been such a fork of me rumpus. I have to hit you with the full force of me Chunks. How dare you? Heard me, you're going down, chunky boy. I'm gonna Erdle you into the force, Erdle into you with the force of massive airy comet. Great. But you weren't expecting that, were you? Where's your flapping mouth, huh? Time for an old-fashioned, old guard rumble. Urgh! How could I be chunkier than I? You're not but a bloomin' turtle. How can I go on living with the shame of it all? Hey Bowser, let me keep me dignity as me game ends. Finish me quick. There's no shame in being smacked down by a huge Studley boss. What's that shaking? Warg. Smoosh. Oh, Trunks, you saved us? What are you waiting for? Get out of this place. Why'd you save us? Because you spanked me, eh? You earned the right to pass. I'm making sure you do just that. Urgh. You got more chunks in your head than I thought. Bowser, what are you doing? Hey, super stupid bros, get the princess into the next room now. But I said go. Alright, Bowser. Get out of here too. Don't worry about me, I could hold this thing up all day. Hey, you stole me line. Your hands are quivering like a ladle of me mom's lard gravy. Don't be the tough guy, go. I am a tough guy, you get out. No, you get out. No, you. Bowser died. Bowser survived worse. Imagine if Bowser just was never brought up after that. You want to save your progress. Save complete. An endless labyrinth of mind-boggling turns and deadly enemies. This final journey was more dangerous and trying than our heroes had seen before. Mario and friends kept on without Bowser, who was lost in a duel. There's no time to stop and search for Bowser, or even breathe. Our heroes knew that they had to rush towards the final encounter with Count Bleck. Oh, Tremor, I've lost count of them all. It is strange, I mean, this is Count Bleck's private castle, right? So why would he let the destruction ravage his own home? What sort of evil plan is it if he destroys himself in the process? Lumiere, so it really is you. Let's just keep moving. We need to find Count Bleck soon. Oh, yeah. Ah. Oh, you finally arrived. Merlin, what are you doing here? I found a fascinating passage in the late Prognosticus, so I rushed here to tell you. To get to Count Bleck, it seems you must hit this totally unsuspicious block, so why don't you give it a jolly old whack? Why, what seems to be the problem, hero? Better get to bashing that block. Tee, what a bunch of... suckers! Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, duh. I follow the way of the lightning. Okay, that's not it. Okay. Is this like a time-based thing? Am I supposed to hit like the switch and immediately like run across the universe? Okay. Oh, cool. I'm glad that this is all just an optical illusion. Not really understanding what's happening here. Is this the same? Okay. Maybe I'm supposed to hit them both in quick succession. Alright, I think I've hit a little bit of a roadblock here, and I know that this is a relatively brief stream, but I don't have a whole lot of time. So I gotta play a designated driver. What happens if I keep on doing this? Oh, what the fuck? I like how I solved the puzzle without even understanding what this meant. What is this? Sick. Okay, honestly, what's the harm in leaving this on? We's are invincible, right? Alright, I gotta go. I'm sorry. I know it's in the middle of stuff, but we'll get through this eventually. Peace out. See everybody later.